You get home tired, your back hurts, your neck is stiff, and somehow you still think, I should probably go work out. So you do something almost ridiculous. You drive to a room full of mirrors, lift heavy objects, and run on a machine that goes nowhere. And we call that healthy. Here is the thing. For most of human history, nobody lived like this. Ancient humans moved all day. Modern humans sit all day. So why did their bodies hold up so much better than ours? And why does modern fitness sometimes feel like a fix for a problem it helped create? That is what this video is really about. We are going to look at what ancient human bodies actually tell us. And we are going to look at the modern fitness myth that keeps so many people working hard without ever solving the real issue. If you want the real story of ancient human health, do not start with myths. Start with bones. Bones do not lie. They record movement, stress, nutrition, repetition, every physical demand a body ever faced. It is all written in the skeleton. They keep the receipts. And when anthropologists compare hunter-gatherer skeletons with early farming populations, the pattern is impossible to miss. A 2022 integrative skeletal and paleogenomic study found that prehistoric Europeans associated with early farming tended to show shorter stature, a direct sign of biological stress and poorer overall health. Other bioarchaeological research points in the same direction. The agricultural transition brought more skeletal damage, more dental disease, more nutritional problems. That is not the story most people expect, because farming was supposed to make life easier. More food, more stability, less danger. But the bones tell a different story. At farming sites, researchers found clear signs of repetitive strain in the spine and joints. Early agricultural bodies paid the price for one brutal pattern, the same movement repeated endlessly every single day. Think about what that actually means. Same posture, same motion. No recovery, no variety. Just repetition. And repetition without variety breaks the body down. Now look at hunter-gatherer skeletons. The pattern shifts completely. More walking, more varied movement, less repetitive damage, not perfect health. These were not superhuman bodies, just bodies being used the way they were designed to be used. And here is another detail worth paying attention to. Ancient hunter-gatherers often had healthier teeth than early farmers. Why? Because once humans shifted toward grain-heavy diets, cavities became far more common. Studies of the agricultural transition consistently show a sharp rise in oral health problems, linked directly to softer, more processed, more starch-heavy food. The mouth became a record of exactly what civilization was doing to the body. So the first major decline in human physical health did not happen during industrialization. It did not happen in the last century. It happened when we invented farming. That should make us rethink the story we tell ourselves about progress. So what did a real day actually look like 50,000 years ago? Not the movie version. The real one. You wake up with sunlight, no alarm, no notifications, no emails already stacking up before your eyes are even open. You stand up and you start moving, not exercising, just moving, walking to water, walking toward food, walking to find other people. And the ground matters more than people realize. You are not walking on flat pavement. You are moving over dirt, rocks, roots, uneven terrain. Every single step requires your body to stabilize itself. Your feet work, your ankles work, your hips work. Your core is constantly engaged, not in a gym sense, just in the basic sense of staying upright on a surface that is never perfectly flat. None of it feels like a workout. It is just life. Modern forager research confirms this. A 2023 study of Hadza foragers found that adults regularly spent more than 150 minutes per day in moderate to vigorous physical activity. And when they were inactive, most of that rest time happened in active postures, squatting, not slumping in a chair. Try something right now. Stand up, drop into a deep squat, feet flat, heels down, hips as low as they'll go. Can you hold it comfortably for 30 seconds? Most modern adults cannot. It feels awkward. The heels lift, the knees ache, the lower back rounds. But for most of human history, This was just sitting down. People cooked in a squat, had conversations in a squat, rested in a squat. Today we schedule it as mobility work and call it exercise. Ancient humans called it taking a break. That one fact tells you almost everything you need to know. Modern people separate movement from life. Ancient humans never made that distinction. They carried children on their backs, carried firewood, dragged food across rough ground, climbed, built, hauled, walked for miles. Not as a fitness choice, but because that was just the day. Their bodies got stronger because life demanded strength, not because they had goals, not because they were disciplined. The environment simply left them no other option. And this is the part that really matters. The human body does not care where resistance comes from. A barbell, a child, a log, a basket of food carried 2 miles home over uneven ground. Resistance is resistance. Muscle responds to demand, that is it. Full stop. Here is the core idea of this whole video. Ancient humans were not healthier because they exercised more. They were healthier because movement was impossible to avoid. That is a completely different thing. Now here is another myth worth clearing up. A lot of people picture ancient hunters as fast, explosive, almost action hero athletic. The reality is more interesting. Humans are genuinely terrible sprinters. A chimpanzee would overpower you. A horse would leave you behind in seconds. But humans have one significant physical advantage that almost no other animal shares: endurance. We sweat efficiently. Most animals cannot cool themselves while running long distances. They have to stop, rest, and pant. We can keep going. Ancient hunters used that advantage. They tracked prey for hours under an open sun at a steady, sustainable pace, until the animal overheated and collapsed from exhaustion. Not through speed, through persistence. That is what shaped the human cardiovascular system over hundreds of thousands of years. Not 20 minutes on a stationary bike while staring at a screen you are not really watching. Then everything changed, and it changed fast. Agriculture, cities, factories, offices, screens. For the first time in human history, physical movement was removed from survival itself. You no longer had to move to eat. You no longer had to move to stay warm. You no longer had to move to stay alive. Physical effort became optional. And now we live in the strangest environment our species has ever encountered. You can go an entire day, an entire week, barely moving at all. Food arrives at your door. Work happens through a screen. Entertainment is specifically designed to keep you perfectly still. But your biology still expects the ancient world. Your nervous system is still running old software. The hardware has not changed. The environment just stopped giving it the inputs it was built to receive. Scientists call this an evolutionary mismatch, and it is playing out across your body every single day. This is exactly where the biggest fitness mistake comes in. That 45-minute workout you squeeze in after work? It is probably not doing what you think it is doing. Think about the shape of a normal day. You sit in the morning. You sit during the commute. You sit at your desk. You sit at lunch. You sit on the drive home. You sit on the couch. That is 10, sometimes 12 hours of near complete stillness. Then you go to the gym for 45 minutes and expect that to cancel everything else. That is like holding your breath all day and trying to catch up in 60 seconds. Your body does not work that way. Pause for a second. How long have you been sitting while watching this? 10 minutes? 20? An hour? Check in with your neck, your shoulders, the low-level tension in your lower back. Your body is already adapting to that position. Right now, while you are watching this, that is not laziness. That is just biology. And if your body responds that quickly to a chair, think about what years of this are doing quietly without you noticing. That is where the gym starts to make a different kind of sense, and also where its limits become clear. Think about what we are actually doing there. We drive to a building to simulate the movement our ancestors got automatically. We walk on machines because we stopped walking outside. We lift artificial weights because daily life stopped requiring physical strength. The gym is not solving the original problem. It is compensating for it. It is a patch, a workaround, a repair shop for a lifestyle that keeps breaking us down. And that is why it feels slightly off, even when it is working. Now, none of this means exercise is useless. It is not. Strength training helps. Cardio helps. Structured fitness has real measurable benefits. But the deeper problem is the other 23 hours. Your body was not designed to stay completely still all day and then suddenly perform for 1 hour at night. The mismatch is not just about that missed workout. It is happening across the entire shape of your day. So here's the challenge. Not next week. Today. Take phone calls standing up. Walk when the destination is under a mile away. Sit on the floor for 10 minutes tonight instead of the couch. Carry your groceries by hand. Take the stairs. Take the longer route. None of these are dramatic. None of them require a membership, a program, a tracker, or motivational music that sounds like the final boss is about to appear. But they do something more important than any of those things. They put movement back into the actual structure of your day, which is exactly where it was always supposed to be. Because here is the truth that does not get said enough. A lot of people who feel exhausted, stiff, and worn down all the time are not that way because they are lazy or undisciplined. They are that way because the environment itself is broken. The system keeps you still. Then it turns around and blames you for not compensating hard enough. Ancient humans did not exercise. They lived in movement. And maybe the real goal is not just getting fitter. Maybe it is getting back to something more fundamentally human. If this changed the way you think about your body, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel. Subscribe for more videos on human nature, modern life, and the hidden costs of civilization. And if you know someone who keeps blaming themselves for not being disciplined enough to work out, share this with them. Maybe the problem was never their discipline. Maybe the environment itself was broken all along. Stay curious. Keep moving. See you in the next one.